Can you hear me?
Welcome to the Live Sports Podcast. I am your host, Mario. I'm here with my co host, Leon.
Good evening. Good morning.
So let's get the Copa America out and then we get into the Euros real quick. We don't really have that much to talk about. So it's going to be a short one. Uh, Peru just lost to Colombia in an exciting 3-2 for third place. I think Luis Diaz scored and Cuadrado double. And there's something interesting that I realized this week, and it's one of the things that kind of has makes you think as a football fan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I really want to see tactical football all the time?
As a fan, I think most persons just want to see exciting football.
Yeah, but there's a joy in seeing tactical football as well. I mean, the average fan, of course, just wants to see where it's going to end, which is why, despite the attention that the Euros has gathered, I think the Copa America has been more entertaining.
Well,
And
I think I think a lot of persons would say the opposite. I think, but then a lot of persons don't like the theatrics and how South American football plays out. I think a lot
what
of
what
persons, I
what?
remember there was an English article, it's not an English article, there was a European
Mm,
article that said that around the entire Sterling controversy and the penalty and stuff,
yeah.
he said that they said that when it's a South American player, it's cheating, it's diving, it's unfair. But when it's a European player, it's being clever.
Well, here's a problem I have with that statement. It's a very ignorant statement by English pundits because South American football is a lot rougher than what was going on in Euros. Do you see the tackles that were flying in in South America?
Yes,
Like,
I've seen those tackles, and like I say, like it's very hypocritical because um when you're from Europe or when you're English, you can get away. It's called being clever.
yeah,
But if you're another nationality, you're a cheater. Like remember the English media was calling out the Italians for diving and play acting and rolling all over the ground. But when Sterling dived for his penalty, oh,
it's not
it
a
was a
problem.
touch. Oh, it's a penalty. Oh, he got touched. I think a lot of persons are forgetting that football is a contact sport.
No, but that's the thing. In South America, there's contact given, and I would say that Neymar to me,
Yes, in South America, it's more um it's more rougher. European football is actually the softest level of football you can find in the world in terms of what is allowed, what is not allowed. I think anybody else who plays football or who watches other leagues,
no,
the
the
tackles that
reason
are allowed
the
in
reason
those
why I
leagues
brought
would
this
never
up,
be allowed in Europe.
the reason why I brought this up is I'm not afraid to say I'm a fan of the Pat McAfee show and the Hammer Down show, the betting show. And when hearing him talk about it, and he's like, to describe Pat McAfee is a footballer who, after stop playing football in high school, he completely ignored the game. So he understands how the game is played, but at the same time, he isn't that deep of a fan. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like he knows the game, but he doesn't know it. You get what I'm saying? Like he hasn't watched the sport since he was a child. He hasn't followed up the sport since he was a child.
Yeah,
And
but
but of course he's played the actual sport. As a matter of fact, he could have went far, but he chose to be an NFL punter. Again, that's his choice, and he was actually a top class NFL punter by the end of his career. Um, I think they lost at the Super Bowl, so he didn't get his
Mm-hmm.
ring. But the point is,
Okay.
he knows how football is played. He could have made it in that sport. Like he was a top recruit coming out of high school. He would either be playing in the MLS now or who knows. But the point is, if he watches a football match, he knows what me and you as deep fans would know. But at the same time, he hasn't kept up with the game, the inner ins and outs of the game throughout the years. When I hear him talk about the Copa America, because he sounds like the average guy that just wakes up out of bed and because he has a sports betting app on his phone, he's just betting on a sport. He sounds like the average guy. You get what I'm saying? He sounds like the average fan.
And again, I think a lot of I don't remember what I was going through. Yeah, I was on Reddit earlier, and it's about game development. And when you are someone who possesses a technical knowledge in a subject,
Yeah.
whatever it might be, whether it's the sciences, the arts, philosophy, once you have like a knowledge of something, it you sometimes forget how persons who don't have that in-depth of a knowledge, how they view. Like for instance, let's use
No,
Jorginho
no,
as
no,
an
no, no, no,
example,
no,
right?
no, no, no. I think you're having the wrong idea of what I'm not
Oh,
critiquing.
oh,
That's not what I'm doing.
mhm.
That's not what I'm doing. He
Oh,
gave me an
okay.
interesting perspective. That's what I'm trying to
Oh,
tell you.
all right.
It's not a critique. It's
Yeah, but
an
I think I'm
interest.
not critique.
Well,
I'm
no,
saying
no, no.
that.
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. That's it. Let me
Uh-huh.
finish the question. I
Okay.
haven't told you what he said yet. I'm just giving you
Ah.
who the person is for the people who may not know.
Mhm.
So that's the type of person you deal with. He knows the game because he played it, but he doesn't know everything that has been going on in the game. He doesn't know the ins and outs of the game. He doesn't even know the tournament's name.
Yeah.
But so he sounds like a regular fan. Like just a fan that wakes up in the morning, like I said, rolls out of bed, he has a sports betting app on his phone, and it's just something, it's just a sport to bet on. But that
Yeah.
interesting perspective, what he gave me was that it was something that it was something that I remembered from child. He brought up something that I remember from child, and why I think, and it brought up why I think the Copa America is a bit more exciting to me, or a bit more entertaining. Not even a bit, a lot more entertaining than the Euros were. And I am one of the people who we call our football purists, right? I hate announcing myself as that, but I studied the game. I used to play it when I was younger, and I've studied it. I've continued to study it up until this point. So I love seeing tactical battles, right? And
Yeah.
there's no point now in world football where even if it's not to the European level, there's a level of tactical knowledge everywhere in football. I watch the South African league, I watch the Egyptian league, I watch the Japanese league, Chinese league, Korean league, the Australian league for goddamn sake. When I get up in the morning and it's like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, I'm still doing my yoga or meditation or whatever. My laptop is actually playing a match from either Japan, Australia, Korea. And as we get closer into the day, then we'll get back to your regular football, like your English Premier League, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a level of, and this is why I said people should, even though I know it's not entertaining as a zero, don't don't have this, don't keep your scarred perception of what football is around the world because it's way advanced. It's much more advanced than you think it is. Certain
Yeah, but
places in
again,
the
I
world,
think you are again your persons. All right. If you're in Europe, right?
yeah.
Why would you care to watch matches in
No,
South
that's why I said.
America?
That's why I said. That's why I said I don't have a problem with people not doing it. But what I'm saying is, you can't, or at least the people who are talking about football like on a professional level, you can't speak about these nations the way you do without giving them credit. And again, you may not want to watch their league, but you have to at least do some form of research to realize that these teams, these places around the world aren't the same as you think they are.
Yeah, but again,
No,
Mario,
no, that's not the
again.
main. No, that's not the main point. That's not the main point. That's not the main point.
Mhm.
I'm just giving you. I'm just trying to set up everything. And this is going to give you a chance to set up a little bit. Football tactically has changed around. At the highest level, you cannot get more tactical. Or I don't want to say that, but I don't think there's a point in history where tactics are used right throughout the world. And at the highest level, there's so many there's no tactic that you cannot get at the highest level. There's no formation that we haven't seen at the highest level, especially this season. So football has reached a point to me where I'm a lot more happier seeing the less tactical battles. And I think just regular everyday people, just regular everyday people who aren't football purists, who aren't studying the game every day, who don't love seeing tactical battles. I think I think the Copa America was the perfect tournament for those type of people. And Pat McAfee reminded me that football can be beautiful when there is no tactics to it. And I'm not saying that the teams in South America weren't having tactical battles, but it was less about the tactical battles in South America. For example, if we had more time, if we have enough time on the podcast, I would want to go into a tactical breakdown of Denmark and England and the things I would have done differently. And I was thinking about those things right before the podcast. I could tell you the tactical changes that were made in the Copa America, but the Copa America has been less about that and more about heart, desire for your country, and just playing football. Like South American football looks like street football with a little bit of tactics on. And Pat McAfee gave me about this perspective of it doesn't need to be Guardiola versus Tuchel all the time. It doesn't need to be Jose versus Carlo Ancelotti. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but again, like I said, it all depends on what your target demographic is. Because if you're in Europe, you have top pundits, analysts, top broadcasters who are
Mhm.
giving you play-by-play breakdowns in
South America has that as
halftime,
well.
full
South
time.
America has that
Yeah,
well.
but again, it
And
is
these
more
are former
widely
players who
accepted.
played in. I'm not talking about former players who have either played in Europe and came back home to South America. I'm not just talking about some rinky-dink guy who doesn't know tactics. I'm talking strictly on the field of play. What does the naked eye see? And I think that for like as Pat McAfee would call himself, he's a sports student, right?
Mhm.
Just the idiot who likes sports in a sense. He's a smart guy, but like he defines himself as a sports student. He's just the average guy that would take up his phone and bet on a soccer match because it's going on. I'm not talking. That's why I said, even though I would consider myself like purist in that sense, where I'm interested to see the tactical lineups. I'm interested to see the broadcasts and stuff like that. What I'm realizing is that the majority isn't really that interested, and they much rather enjoy the just
Yes,
show me
because
your heart
majority
and
only
passion.
cares about the amount of goals that are being scored, the tackles
Yeah,
that are
but
being thrown in.
I get that.
The average fan won't be able to tell you, oh, Guardiola is using inverted fullbacks, or he's De Bruyne is
Ah,
filling the half spaces. The average fan can't tell you that. But
yeah,
what the
but
average fan can tell you is that, yo, look at that pass that De Bruyne made. Look at that strike that Aguero made. Look at that tackle that Stones put in. That's what the average fan cannot cheer on the tactical battles going on the field, but they can cheer on a tackle, a player um flying into a tackle, or a winger dribbling past two, three defenders and playing the ball into the box. Those are the tangible things, the things that can be quantified,
yeah,
or
but
a
here's
sense
why
that
yeah,
fans
but
can see.
here's why I brought it up. The reason why I brought it up was because it gave me back that perspective of it can just be fun to watch that. It can like even as a purist who understands what's going on and stuff, it's real fun to like just look at it. Like it's real for it. The Copa America reminded me, and like Pat McAfee was a part of it, being a part of it. it reminded me that football can be fun without all of what we do. And sometimes, like when you get caught up in watching, like shout out to FIFA football, but I watch their videos, other tactical people videos. We're so in depth into that. Like we see the tactics before the teams them they put out there. Like me and you can talk about tactics before the teams put out their line.
Yes,
But what
because like I said, we're purists. We we see the or we study the game so that that we find interest in the different tactical shapes and the different tactical battles. Because like you said, at
and
the
the
highest
names of
level,
positions and all of that stuff. Like
because
me
at
and
the
you
highest
have,
level,
yeah.
the tangibles, it's all about the tangibles. And what is it that we can what would be the correct word to say now? All right. In the hand at the highest level of football, you as a top manager, you're trying to get every single percent so that you can win. So you want a 0.1% there, a 0.2% there. You're trying to maximize on every single thing to give you the the result because at the end of the day, that's what will grant you the victory.
But that's the thing. I'm not saying that South America isn't doing tactical battles because they are. There's just something different about like the Copa America and the Euros, and it seems like to the naked eye, to the average fan, it's way more fun. And the reason why I brought it up is that as a purist, it felt way more fun for me as well. That's why I said that. That's why I brought up Pat McAfee because, like, I it is like something where you never want to admit to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like somebody
Yeah,
just like force it, like somebody like force it for admit it to yourself. Like never force you, but like just say something where you kind of try to avoid to yourself. Because as a football player, I enjoy like talking to you off air about tactics, but just watching the game from like I hate to say this, but a layman's terms or a sports stooge terms of just what is right in front of me. Because remember, when me and you are watching football, like we're seeing the tactics while the match is playing, even if we're not paying attention to it.
yes.
Pat is just seeing two teams. Pat McAfee is just seeing two teams run up and down the
Yeah,
field,
but I think the
and
problem,
guys
like
are
I
yeah,
think all right, I understand what you're saying, but I think I know I fully understand what you're saying. And I will give you my example to that, right? When I am watching a Chelsea match, right?
yeah,
I am analyzing what is going on. I'm looking for what Tuchel is doing. I'm looking toward Tuchel as a team setup, right? But when I'm watching a Bayern Munich match, and as you know, I'm a Bayern fan as well, I'm just lying down, relaxing, watching my team play football. I don't care about the tactics that are being employed on the field.
yeah. But I
I'm
think
just
that's due. I
enjoying
think
what's
no, but
happening.
I think that's due more to Bayern being a dominant team. What I'm saying,
No, even like no, because I've been able to like let's say if I watch a Madrid match, right? I'm just
yeah,
watching it purely to enjoy the football that's being played. If I watch a match between Marseille and Lyon, it's because I just want to enjoy the football. If I turn on an AC Milan match, it's because I just want to enjoy the football. No, sure, like maybe the big matches, El Clasico, the Torino derby, maybe the Milan derby, like maybe like those matches I'll be going in and say, okay, maybe I'll try to see what's what each manager is trying to accomplish to see what's happening here, how each team is setting up each other. But other than that, I think I've been able to, and again, probably because I'm used to Bayern dominating. But I remember the only time I've tactically analyzed the Bayern was when they took apart Barcelona in the Champions League last year when they won it.
yeah. But that's what
Like
we
that's
see.
when I went back and I watched the match and I wrote down Hansi Flick's 4-2-3-1 system
You're
and I
talking the
tried to
A2.
compare it.
You're talking
Yeah,
the
in the
A2 now.
A2. Yeah. and I try to compare it to your techniques 4-2-3-1 because I try comparing both treble winning systems because they were both 4-2-3-1s, and I tried to find the differences between both of them, and I was kind of upset that I didn't pay more attention to more of Bayern's matches because there was only so much clips I could find to actually get like a good comparison. But I think sometimes as analysts, as commentators, I think, and I think Gary Neville said it the best when they were talking about the penalty. The decision says that, was it a penalty? He said, no, it's never a penalty. But do I care? No, I don't care because I'm an English fan. And I think sometimes as analysts and persons who like to take the game apart, we have to know when to switch off that side of us and to just
No,
enjoy
all
the
right.
sport
Here's
for
the
what it
thing.
is.
Here's the thing. The problem is, you see, that's where I'm at in the argument. It's not a matter of switching it off. It's a matter of it switching it off for me. Like the Copa America, I didn't have to tell myself, oh, well, this is just a Copa America. I couldn't care. I couldn't give up. Like, or like, for example, you say like the Torino derby, right? The Torino derby is between Torino and Juventus. And you use the
Yeah,
example of a Syria match. If you're watching AC Milan play, let's say, let's not use one of the bigger teams. Let's use Fiorentina. It's a mid-table team, but it's not a bottom of the table team that you're going to walk over, right? So you'll get an entertaining match even if you know Milan is going to. I don't have to turn it off. Like you'll turn it off for those games. What the Copa America did for me was kind of turn it off by force. I was less, even though they were making tactical decisions, the Copa America, like how the players naturally played, like got me out of that without telling me. And that was what I like because I was discussing more the impact of the tournament itself. So yes, there's matches that I can, for example, when I watch a Japanese league match, right?
yeah,
How much, like I said, tactics have been developed all across the world, right? But how much tactics do you really think that's in the Japanese league? Or how tactical do you think the Japanese league really gets? South Africa, I got there more for the skills than the tactics. And South African league has been getting more tactical. As a matter of fact, there's going to be an art. We're going to have a conversation one day when we have more time about the managers coming into the South African league because the teams are getting more tactical, but the South Africans are losing their identity. That's a
because you
discussion for
see,
another day.
what a lot of persons don't understand is that unless you're playing total football or unless you're playing even when you're playing total football, high level football tactically restricts a lot of player and freedom and creativity of players.
Yeah, but there was a time when the South Africa had it balanced. I can use a perfect example. The Tottenham Orlando Pirates match. That match is famous on the internet. That was not just South Africa showing up. That was not Orlando Pirates and the South African team just showing up Spurs in terms of tricks and skills. They tactically like outplayed Spurs. And yeah, you might say, well, Mario, that's a match from way back when. Still,
Exactly,
there
that's
was
a
a
very old match.
balance. No, but there was a balance,
Yes,
and
but you see, as
even
football
later on.
evolves around the world in America, you're going to lose that balance.
No, but even later on, in like let's say when Benny McCarthy in the 2010s era came back to the South American league, to Orlando Pirates, there was still that balance between, for example, Neymar can dribble as much as he wants for PSG because all the tactics are set up. Everybody else running this style defense. Or at least his two holding midfielders do a lot more defending. No matter which manager it is, whether it was Pochettino or even Tuchel, like Neymar had the freedom in the play. I'm not saying that the South African league is getting worse because of its tactics, but I'm seeing players go out of their way It's not like they're it's not like the tactics are stopping them from doing what doing their South African things. I just think they're trying to be European. So the tactics aren't hindering their ability to do what is known as passive flavor. But I think the players are trying to be more European. I don't know if it's to appeal to that, but what made Neymar special was that yes, you could put him in different tactics, whether it's a Barca 4-3-3 or Indiana's a 10 in PSG or Brazil has used him in different ways. Neymar has always been himself. Ronaldinho has always been himself. Henry has been himself. The tactics aren't stopping them from being themselves, but it seems like they're trying to be more European. The players themselves. But like I said, I didn't want to get into this discussion. It was just an example.
Mhm.
Yeah, but how much tactics do you think I'm going to see in a league like that?
You
So
won't
yeah,
see
I
much.
exactly. So I get what you're saying by yeah, I can turn it off, but what happens when the tournament turns it off for me? And like it's as if the tournament turned you back into a sports team without having to without you having to do it. And that's my only comparison for the those two. Now the match is coming up. Brazil versus Argentina. There's not much I can really say about this match. I think it's going to come down to Messi and Neymar because both teams are struggling with the same problem. They both play physically better, they both play tactically better, but neither team are finishing at the best that they should. Brazil are grinding out victories, which the score lines don't always tell the story. Like Brazil will Brazil will be equal to a team for 90 minutes and then the team just lets in 2, 3 goals because they give up after Brazil scores one. So they just start letting them in. And the scoreline will not match what Brazil play like. Brazil plays like a physical European team. And Neymar is really their spark of creativity. Their strikers aren't firing. Firmino is to some extent, but Firmino is still a false nine, so he doesn't give you a constant threat of every time I cross the ball into the box. Firmino still depends on build up. Argentina need too many chances to score, and I've been a bit disappointed in Luar Taro because he gets good enough chances that he should be scoring goals, or he should be putting away teams a bit earlier. Argentina should. Gonzalez is my biggest issue. He plays well throughout the game, and he gets the most chances and misses them. And I think the size of the tournament seems to be getting to him in terms of finishing. His work ethic on the field, his creativity, how he plays with Messi, De Paul, and everybody else. De Paul, stop
Mhm.
overcomplicating the penalties. You're a better set piece specialist than that. Brazil, no. They can't be dependent on Neymar and Firmino. They have to give them something. They haven't found Richarlison hasn't found the shooting boots, but he's playing well, much like Gonzalez on the wing. So that's why I say both teams look to be having the same set of problems. I just think it's going to be a mental battle. How do you feel about the Copa? And let's end it off with how you feel about the Euros.
To be honest, I I'm gonna be honest. I've only watched like the last four matches of the Copa, the serious matches of the latter rounds. I was more focused on the Euros as my time these days are short, so I can't get that much football in, and I'm trying to unwind for the new season. So I try to limit the amount of football I'm watching. But overall, I really want Messi to win. I really think he deserves an international trophy. I think like if there's anybody who deserves it, I think it's him. And well, when you watch both Argentina and you watch how Brazil plays, you ask yourself, like, which team is going to show up on the day? Like which Brazil shows up? which Argentina shows up? Like will Neymar show up? Will Messi show up? But will the
I think
supporting cast show up? That is my biggest thing because I feel like the big two will, but will the supporting cast show up? Because a lot of emphasis will be paid on, oh, this is Messi versus Neymar. No, this is Brazil versus Argentina.
at the
And
end
if the
of the day,
supporting cast does not show up, one man cannot win you an international title.
and here's the problem with this
It has
match.
been proven every single international tournament. One man cannot win you an international title.
Yeah, but here's my and I completely agree with this thing before I get into my point. But here's the big thing about this match. Whichever team wins, one of the things I fear is that whichever team wins is going to blow out it. This match, of as you said, it's the supporting cast that decides this match. Messi is going to be all out, which he's been all tournament. Neymar has been all out. Like Neymar has not been diving in this tournament. And some people might disagree with that statement, but I've seen Neymar take tackles that he would not take in Europe.
Mhm.
Go back to that first Chile match that they played for the tournament. I don't remember if it was Chile or Colombia. Colombia. Go back to that first Colombia game. Go back to the Peru match. He's taking tackles that he would instantly go down for. Like I was proud of even if Neymar doesn't win this tournament, I can't say I haven't like seen a different Neymar. The Neymar I see for Brazil looks like I mean he looks different. He's taking tougher tackles. He's standing on his feet more. He's running back defensively. Like the Neymar that has been playing at this Copa America has been very proud to watch overall. But again, it's whoever supporting cast shows up, and the person who supporting cast shows up, it's going to be a blowout from either team. So if you go to Euros, because I forgot now.
Oh God. For the Euros, oh God, Mario, Jesus. All right. I'm biased. I'm not I won't even try to pretend like I'm not biased. I want Italy to smash the I want I want Italy to oh God, I want Italy to win and I want Italy to completely dominate them. What is more likely going to happen is going to be a very cagey match for about 60, 70th minute. Italy will dominate the ball. England will sit back and park the London metro system in front of their goal. Um, England will try to exploit Italy's centre backs, so slow they are,
That might
and
not. Well,
try to
depending on who he starts, that might not be a problem.
through. But Spain was able to cut through Italy's defense. They just lacked the clinicality to
Yeah, but
score.
Spain.
No,
Here's
the
the difference
difference
with
is
Spain.
that Spain's midfield and front three and tactics of by Enrique was on a different level that they were able to not really dominate that midfield, but they were able to rotate, shift position so quickly, find pockets of space, and play the ball so smoothly and decisively that they were cutting through Italy's defense. Now,
England
can
doesn't have
Calvin
that.
Phillips and Declan
England
Rice
doesn't
can
have
do
that.
that? No, they can't.
No, they're not the type of players. Calvin Phillips could,
Exactly. And
but he needs
he's not
two
the
other
system,
midfielders. Yeah,
exactly the system that
but
England is employing will
that's
not
why.
get that.
Yeah, but that's and
Maybe if they
let's
started,
hold on. No,
maybe if they switched to a 4-3-3 and
no,
they maybe put
even if
Foden,
so be the
Mount, or
case,
Grealish in that midfield three, then that's
even
completely different.
I still think they will do. And here's why I still think they will do. Spain, how Spain plays was very specific, and those
Yes.
players have been groomed under that system. And I'm not talking about Barca's system because I keep telling people
No, but the
La
general
Liga.
playing style in Spain overall.
Exactly. But here's specifically the thing about Spain. Spain doesn't depend on their pace. Spain's players are much more technical than England's players. I'll give you
They
Calvin
are.
Phillips and Grealish, even Mount. But at the end of the day, that's not the playing style that they're
Gareth
accustomed to.
Southgate is not will not be. I wouldn't say that they are
Eve,
accustomed to because Sterling, Mount, Foden, Grealish, all these guys are playing in highly tactical systems,
no, it's not the
right?
highly tactical
And
system. It's that
they both play with their club managers both employ systems where they're quick one twos, decisive passings, breaking
yeah,
into
but
the
who are
half
the
spaces. The
players
problem is
around them? Yeah, but what I know who's the
exactly,
players
but all
around
right.
them?
If I was Gareth Southgate, right? Let me
Yeah.
just show you how it would work, right? Let's say I wanted to cut through that Italy defense that was Spain did it. I would
You don't
probably
forget
play
what
Declan Rice at the
before you
base of
hold
our
on
midfield. Sorry,
before you get to the no but
Calvin
before you get to
Phillips.
the give me a second before you get to the defense. You know that Italy separated Spain separated their midfield first. How are England going
Yes,
to
I
achieve
know.
that? Yeah,
Well,
tell me how
that's
they're
a
going to achieve that.
completely okay. That's a completely different thing. But
No,
let's
but
say
that's
you
what
start with
Spain did. No, but
Calvin
that's
Phillips
what
at the
Spain did.
base of your midfield, right?
Yeah,
And let's say you bring Foden and Mount as your two number eight. Then you
yeah,
put Grealish, Sterling, and say you put Kane up top.
yeah.
Once you are right, you have enough technical ability, flair, passing, and creativity to to break or to break that Italy's defense using
Wait,
pace and
hold on,
quick
hold on,
decisive passing.
hold
The
on. Here's the thing.
problem is like what you said. How are you going to separate that midfield three from that defense?
Yeah,
Enrique
but
was able to isolate that Italy's midfield, which allowed Pedri the freedom
no, but
to
Pedri is a
do his
different
thing.
player than even Foden.
Exactly. And so when you said that, how are you going to isolate that midfield? I can't tell you because
Busquets
that
is
is
different.
very
Busquets and
hard.
Calvin Phillips are close, but he's still Busquets. Fabian Ruiz, all of them like Koke is Koke. Thiago Alcantara is There's no Thiago Alcantara in that squad. There's no Koke in that squad. There's no Pedro Gonzalez. I'll give you if you even say put Grealish in midfield,
Mhm.
um, and still use Sterling and Saka on the wings. The reason why I say that is I trust Italy's midfielders of Jorginho and Verratti. I'm not throw any midfield together. Jorginho and Verratti, as long as those two are starting in Italy's midfield. I don't care who the third one is. Put Locatelli, Pessina, Barella, any one of them. I trust those two guys or those three guys because let's put Barella in there. They've been starting
Mhm.
Barella, right?
Which is probably Barilla who's starting on Sunday.
No, but let's say that they need a bit more physicality. So let's say them start Locatelli, Jorginho, and Verratti. I trust that midfield to control and dictate the pace of the game way more
Yeah,
than any
but
midfield
like I said,
combination England can
but
put together.
like I said to you, we can see how this match is going to play out. England is going to sit back and defend, and Italy will dominate the ball.
Now here's the thing. Because of Italy's back four, I trust their fullbacks with pace. Depending
Yes,
on who
Italy's
they
fullback
start.
has pace. The center back pairing is going to be Bonucci and Chiellini,
No,
and
but here's
that's
the
where
thing.
you're probably
Here's
going
the
to
thing.
you're going to have a problem there.
I do have a problem there if they start Rafael Talon and
I
Bonucci.
don't think they won't. They won't. It's going to be Chiellini and Bonucci.
No, but like I said, I don't think Mancini is far from starting Talon. He's played Talon in
Mancini
every
is
match.
not going to change his defense. His starting defense, he has never. He's not. He has only changed it when Chiellini had to come off, but he's not changing his starting defense.
No, but like I said, I think that I don't put it past him to do it. That's my opinion of it. I don't put it past him to do it if he needs pace
You
in
see,
the
the
shot.
problem is, England's key to victory is isolating Georgina and stopping Georgina from dictating that play. The
Yeah, but
problem with doing
You
that
have
is you
Verratti
have
can do the
Verratti
same
who
job.
can do the exact same thing.
Locatelli does the same job and has height too and physicality. That's why I said no matter what combination you put together of England's midfield, I trust Italy's midfielders to, or at least have the time. If if England cannot beat them physically, it's done. If they can play bully ball tomorrow, bully ball Sunday,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
if
that's the
England,
problem. You see, Jorginho has been playing in the Premier League for two years, so the
that's why I brought
bullying
up
thing not gonna
Locatelli.
work. And Verratti is no stranger to
Cam
getting
no pushover.
into the wars.
Cam no pushover. But and
And even if
Locatelli,
they put Locatelli, or if they put Barella there, Barella is no
Barella
stranger
isn't afraid.
to
Exactly.
fighting as well. So Italy will match you for physicality. They are known for that. Great Italian teams of the past
And who
are
do you think they
always
are?
known
Being
for
that
their
they're going to part
physicality.
the bus, being that they're going to part the bus. I want to ask you this question before because we're already gone too much in your time.
Yeah.
Who should start up front for 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 Italy? Would you go with
Bellotti.
Bellotti, being that you know that they're going to
Bellotti.
park the bus so that you can have an outlet to swing the ball into and give the centre backs a problem?
Yes, because Bellotti will be up for the fight against England centre back.
Oh,
And
definitely.
Maguire and Stones
Bellotti will run in
are
a
going to come
goalpost there,
for a
go.
fight. And that's what you want. You want a striker who's not afraid to get into the faces of the centre backs
Oh no,
and
Bellotti
to
likes
fight
that.
them
Bellotti,
physically,
no, no,
which
no.
is exactly what Bellotti is.
Bellotti likes. Bellotti likes that.
You want to know where England is going to find the most hurt? Insigne and Chizia is going to take Walker and Shaw to the park.
That was my next question. But like I said, I feel like we're running too much time. But
Yeah, well, I can give you 10 more.
all right, so
They're going to Insigne and Chesney, Walker and Shaw against Denmark,
they've
right?
never been tested throughout the
Denmark was
competition.
able to isolate the two fullbacks and
Yeah. And they
expose
haven't
Shaw and Stones.
because they
Sorry,
haven't been
Maguire and Stones.
it doesn't matter which fullbacks they use. I love Chilwell and Reece James, but how England's system is set up.
Funny Lino. Reece James and Chilwell, and this is not just being Chelsea bias, but Reece James and Chilwell would be better equipped to handle Insigne and Chizia than Shaw and Walker.
Yeah, but here's the
Walker
problem.
uses his pace to bail him out of bad positioning.
Yeah.
Both Chilwell and James have had to learn how to be disciplined in how
Well,
they
Walker,
defend.
no, well, Walker has discipline, but here's the problem. He's he's trying to find that space, and I see this as he's aging. He's
Mhm.
trying to find that space of I'm still a wing back, but I need to play more as a full back. Meaning that as a player ages and he starts to lose that pace, because as you said, you can get away with crap when you're bombing forward and you have pace to get back. But I think the problem is when Walker decides to play discipline, you get nothing from him going forward. Being where he is
Yeah.
age now. If you get something from him going forward, you're exposed at the back. And with guys like, as I said, Reece James, Chilwell, you're getting a balance of both. You're getting that balance of pace and discipline because they're younger.
Yes.
But I see that he's struggling to. I see that with fullbacks all the time. Marcelo struggling with it at Madrid as we speak.
So you know what? Because
Alba
the
struggles with
time
it a
was
bit at Barca.
yes, and the time was caught up against us. Honestly,
Give me
I
a final
feel
predictions. Give me a final prediction.
um
You've been hot since the Champions League final. Don't yourself.
three
You've been
two to
hot.
Italy. Three
So
two
three,
to Italy. Yes, 3-2 to Italy. I don't think Italy is keeping a clean sheet. So 3-2 to Italy, probably extra time. If it goes to penalties,
Italy don't
I
miss, bro.
think Italy doesn't miss penalties, but Italy
No,
versus England
Pickford.
in a penalty shootout.
No, like
Yeah, Pickford
Pickford
is
would have to
shaky.
save him. No, Pickford would have to
Yes,
save his way out of that shit.
yes. So
This is
I
not a team
think
that's going to give you a chance to win in penalty. You'd
exactly,
have
which
to
is why I
save
said
your way.
3-2. I think Jorginho has a super point to prove, and I think that Italy's squad has a point to prove.
Not just
Yeah,
Jorginho,
England.
Verratti.
I
Like
think
Verratti has been in the shadow of many,
England has what's that word now? The occasion will get to England, but Italy is playing with a point to prove, and
and they're doing it with
England
more
is also playing
points.
with a point to prove, but Italy Italian Italy knows the hurt of being left out of the World Cup, that disgrace, that that deep-seated pain.
and they weren't the most talented Italy. And I want to they weren't the most talented Italy team the last time they were at Euros.
Exactly. So they know the pain. And yet England knows the pain of like missing out in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals, those type of stuff. But they don't know what it feels like to miss a major tournament
I
and
know them
have your entire footballing system ripped apart.
exactly because trust me, Italian league went to shit
The,
one year. I remember
The Italian press took them to they dragged them
not just
through
the
the
press,
dirt.
not just the press. Like people
And the
didn't want
fans,
to
they
play in
dragged them
Italian.
through the
No,
dirt.
but like players didn't really want to play it. You remember the season when Luca Toni had got 16 goals and was the leading goal scorer at 40 years old?
Yep. Italian football has been through a lot, and the Italian people has been through a lot. So
Yeah,
I
because
give
their
the
league
edge to
was
Italy.
almost pushed behind the French league. Their
I
league was
remember
pushed to that
COVID.
brink.
COVID took Italy by storm.
Exactly.
So I feel the Italians will do it. For Copa, I'm not calling that one. My heart tells me that Argentina will win, but my mind tells me that Brazil is going to show up and they're going to end Messi's hope.
All right. So my prediction for the Euros again, there is somewhat of a bias, but I think Italy has more leaders and more poise. Chiellini, Bonucci, leaders. Verratti, Jorginho, leaders. Off the bench, Toloi, leader. Henderson is a leader. Kane is a leader by example. I'm talking about leaders who are vocal. Insigne, leader for his club, very vocal player. There's
That's
a
true.
certain
There's a lot of leaders and big personalities in that Italians.
I think like I said, if England don't come out playing bully ball, they might get bullied by the Italians. Not just in physicality, but Italy will, like as you said, Italy will make it a point to dominate you if you don't come out playing bully ball. Worse if Bellotti starts, like Harry Maguire is going to be elbowed in his face. It is not going to be easy for him. All that dribbling out from the back, no, 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 no. With Bellotti pressing you,
No, like Italy's press has been the best in the Euros so far.
exactly. And like I said, Maguire and Stones with that running out from the back shit, not with Bellotti. That's a number nine that isn't standing up and watching you run past. That's a gladiator. Um, my biggest problem for Italy is I don't know how they would mentally break down. It would take a mental breakdown to stop this Italy team. They weren't super through the first round, but they proved what they proved in the group stages for me is that they can grind out victories. In all fairness, their what you call it, knockout round stages were smoother to me. Even Belgium's match, like they matched Belgium minute for minute. In the
They did.
in the in group stages, I thought they played a bit shaky, but I think in the group stages they really found that groove. They really found that swagger that they, like you said, their press is like their press. If England don't come out playing bully ball, and here's a huge difference between Denmark and Italy. If you feel like those Jordan Henderson substitutions and just because they can bring on a Jadon Sancho if they feel like they have Berardi and they can possibly bench Immobile and bring him on. They have midfielders like Locatelli doesn't have to start, Barilla doesn't really have to start, Pessina doesn't have to start, can come on and score goals. They have wing backs for kill, and they have defenders who their starting 11 are the only two defenders without pace. But those two centre backs are still world class at their age, still playing at a high level in their league, and have chemistry. And most importantly, they have leadership everywhere. And I think Donnarumma is the better goal. As it pertains to Argentina, Brazil now, Brazil, don't you dare let this go to penalties. We have the better goalkeeper for penalties. We have the best goalkeeper for penalties. Don't you dare let this go to penalty. My problem is one penalty taker for Argentina, and it's Rodrigo de Paul. Everybody has shown up for their Messi not even Messi have make sure Messi kicks his penalties with more power than direction. He wants to make sure that he's going in the back of the net. And he's taking his penalties with more conviction. One of the things that you and I argued about with the Mbappe one, and I'm looking back at the match, I can see where I starting to like see more of your opinion where you say it didn't look like he kicked it with any conviction. You know what I'm saying? I started to see that point from
Which
you.
is the biggest thing when you're taking a penalty, you have to kick like you believe that you're going to score.
Yeah. Like Messi's penalty against Colombia. I don't care if you dive the right way, you're not stopping that. Unless you get a hand to that, you're not stopping it. So just diving in the right direction and hope it bumps off your foot or something like that. So Brazil don't let this go to penalties, have a goalkeeper specific for that. Messi, don't let this go to penalties. Argentina, don't let this go to penalties because penalties are still. This match is either going to end 1-0 or one of the two teams blow each other out. And it won't be because of Neymar or Messi. It will be because of the rest of what you call it, the rest of the teammates. It's which one of the teammates, it's which team supporting cast steps in. So my prediction for Italy, Spain, Italy, England, like yours is 3-2. And my prediction for the Argentina Brazil match is one of the teams will win either 1-0 or 3-0. I can't tell you which way it's going. But it's either 1-0 or 3-0. It's either a tight victory or it's going to end. If it goes to penalties, it goes to penalties. But I think it's either 1-0 or a blowout from either team. So that's it for the Live Sports podcast. A bit thanks to Liam for coming in this late. And
Yes.
preseason, I just saw that some preseason is going on.
Yeah, preseason has started for all
Some
the clubs.
friendlies, yeah, some friendlies. So we'll get into the transfer window. Some transfers have gone on next time. And like I said, check out the Live Sports podcast. We'll be talking about the Olympics. The Live Sports, the 90th minute whistle. We're going to continue with the Gold Cup, which is close to home for us because we're from Jamaica and we'll be watching. So we'll cover that as well. The Brazilian league is surprisingly been entertaining because I thought that there was less talent in Brazil. Turns out I need to start actually getting updated my information as well. The AFC Champions League has been going on. It's been entertaining. Uh, yeah, there's still a lot to cover going into next season. The NFL seasons are right around the corner, and we haven't covered the NBA finals mostly because it's been weird because of all of the injuries. But yeah, we'll cover all of that stuff.